Kindergarten, week 22, still doing plants. We're going to take what we learned last year about putting the bean seeds in the baggie and putting them in the window. And this time we're going to add some soil. So I have my tools set up here. Every student will have a clear plastic cup like this. And once you start putting your soil in there, you can't read their name if you write with a Sharpie. So put a piece of masking tape on the bottom of their cup, put their name on it. And please note the date here, even though this is kindergarten and I know you aren't there yet. Just write down the date they planted. Now I went ahead and wet this one because I was experimenting to see how much water it actually took, because I want the kindergarten to be able to pour their own water. So at the front of the room we have a big container with potting soil that's already got nutrients and fertilizer and everything. So we're going to use that. They're going to get 3, however you want to call it, inches. These are the inchworm rulers, so they could use inchworms. They could hook them together. But they need 3 inches of soil in their cup. Now it's going to compact down once it gets wet, but don't let them overfill it. So they want plenty of room for their bean to be able to grow and them see it. So 3 inches is just right. So we're going to have to do some measurement. The water, I found this little measuring cup. That's going to be just the right amount of water. And that, they can fill these up. You know, it's all right if they spill a little. They're going to pour that on top of their soil and it's going to soak in. And now my cup's too wet because I've already put one in there. So you don't want it soaking wet. It's going to make your bean rot. Then we're going to take the same soaked lima beans that we planted last week in the baggie. And I just soak them because it makes it happen a little quicker. Now you want to make sure that your students have one that is not broken. That's not a half. If it's only a half, it won't work. If it's broken in half, it won't work. They need to have that little bitty growth nodule on top to make this work. What I would do is let them take the pencils, poke kind of their soil back, and just ease it. Now they have to treat these very gently and just cover it up. Now they don't want to stick them too deep, because if you plant too deep down here, they're going to rot in that water. They need to be just a little. What I did is I just barely made a hole with a pencil and then I covered it up. And if they pack it in there, it's not going to grow. So they have to be super gentle, like this is a baby, because you know what? It is a baby. Now I don't know if they're able to do this. It just would be fun if they could kind of make a space right here and then put a bean on the outside so that they can actually watch it. I should have put that on this side over here so any roots that were growing, they could see them. So I'm going to scoot it over here. I'm going to make a hole. And I'm just going to push that one down on the side so I can still see it. Now they're going to have to be super careful with these. They can kind of just spread that dirt over it. Okay, now we've got it exposed on this side. We've got one exposed on this side, and we've got one planted in the middle. And then you're going to have these covers that have to be put on really tightly, because what you want to do is make that little greenhouse effect. So now we got us a little greenhouse going here. Their soil is not going to hot dry out, which is what kills most seedlings. It's going, that plastic cover is going to keep that moisture in. A lot of the kids think they have to give that plant air. I heard that in the science lab this week, that we need to breathe air on them. Well, they need to find out, is that one of the basic needs that these need or not? So you have that discussion. Now, just for fun, I've set up some plant lights in the room. Here's one that's a fluorescent. And here's one that's done in a red bulb. It's not showing up real red on my camera right now, but it's red. And then I have some other bulbs that we're going to put in the other lights. We've got yellow, green. This is not actually purple. You look closely, it's a black light. Blue and orange. And then I snuck one in on them. We have a plant light. We're going to all be pretty much even with 60-watt bulbs, except look at that plant light, it's 65. And these old fluorescents that I've had for years put out more wattage also. They don't even make these anymore. But we're going to place their plants around the room and try to keep them going. We're not going to take them back to your room because I know you don't have a lot of room for 22 little plants that are going to get enough light. You have them in your window and the baggies. We're going to leave these in the classroom. So that's what we're going to do week 22.